there shall be signs. No man know the day nor the hour of the correction, but there shall be signs, and we have those signs. So that's what we're gonna cover today. Our first sign. Let's just get started. Let's go right into it. I know some of you are just joining. Make sure you comment. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see while I get started here. The first sign is the VIX. Let's go ahead and highlight the VIX here. All right. Here comes the correction. The VIX is showing us a pattern of it's a rising pattern, right? If you've watched patterns enough, you can see that the trend is picking up for the VIX, and it's like a cup. There's like a little cup action here. We should be testing that $20 level by the end of October. Okay. The story with the VIX, or not the VIX, I'm sorry, the story with October, if we go back to the last 5 years, actually, you almost always, you have a sharp correction in October. You have an October correction. Now, we've been pretty strong so far this October, but it's still early. We have 3 more weeks. Okay, we have 3 more weeks, and the major institutions typically have to dump a lot of their shares and stocks that are not performing or just rotate in October to finish off the year. And that's where you get the really massive rally. But before we get that massive rally, we're going to have a correction. So keep your eye out. Easiest signal here, VIX punching into 20. I think it gets stuck at 20. It could it can overcorrect into 20, but I'm looking for the 20 test, the retest of 20 before I start adding on momentum. Now, when I talk about momentum, so that's the VIX. That's the VIX. Now, when I talk about momentum, look at iron. Iron is probably one of the strongest stocks in the market, if not the strongest over the last, couple. Look at this. Look at this savagery move, above all-time highs. Let me move this up a little. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Please don't mess with me. All right. So look at this savage move, right? Back in March, April. No, I guess we should fast forward till April or no, July. Let's go to the beginning of the summer. When the summer started, iron was at 15. It's up 300%. Okay. That's a big move. This thing has been on fire. So the appetite for risk in the market is very high, but we need corrections in order to rotate. I see rotations into utility stocks. Okay, a little bit of defensive. We can look at utilities. Look at just go to XLU, right? XLU outperforming while everything else is crashing. If you want to see relative strength, you go XLU/SPY. Okay. XLU, and this is relative strength versus S&P. Look at that. S&P 500 weak. A lot of stocks are weak. You guys see it red all over the board, but XLU is climbing. Why? Because this tells me the fear is inflation. Damn it, maybe we get inflation. We're not convinced the bull market's over, but we're convinced maybe we should hedge a little bit with inflation. Where is it coming from? Electricity. So XLU is purely an electricity industry. We're talking utilities. Let me take this gum out. Sorry. Right. So XLU, that's what's going up. Energy XLE, we can go XLE/XLU to see, is energy outperforming electricity? No, it's not. Electricity is winning here. XLU, okay, electricity/QQQ. Oh, it's beating NASDAQ. So electricity in general, we can look at some individual stocks on electricity, is winning. So the VIX is telling us there's an inflation scare. When is inflation? We have inflation report. I believe, is it this week? Hold on. Let me make sure I got this clear. Why am I getting glitches, dude? Come on. Come on. Technology. I'm supposed to update my computer. That's why. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to make a smooth delivery here, and it freezes on me. Here we go. October 15th. So we got a week. I think we're going to sell off into inflation. I don't know when the sell, like I said, no man knows the day or the hour, but we know it's coming. XLU is outperforming. There's a hedge for a reflationary regime. Okay, now just keep that in your mind. Breadth is weakening, right? Breadth is weakening. When I say breadth is weakening, no, before we get to breadth, I'm sorry. Let me finish off what I was looking at. Iran, or iron, whatever you call iron, I think it's going to dump pretty soon. I'm looking for debit spreads. I believe in the after hours, it's starting to turn over. Let's see it. Look at that dump. Just bleh. Couldn't get back to all time. Look at this gap up. I was like, dude, it's still running up, and then it recovers and just gets smashed into after hours. Now it does this a lot, but we're at an extent of risk, right? Investors need a reset. We're going to get a reset. We're going to get a reset. Here's our breath, right? Here's our breath. Next stock, Oklo. Oklo showing bearish divergence. This is just a canary in the coal mine. It is, how would I say it? Oklo, I'm going to get your comments, but let me make sure. Look at this big move on Oklo the other day. I'm like, dude, slow down, bro. Slow down. You need a reset. Let's look at the bearish divergence here. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, right? So, and I want to own Oklo at some point, but right now it's bearish divergence. We're looking at a let me take the momentum off. We're looking at a range here. Can we see that clearly? We're looking at a little range between 100 and 150. Let's just say 100, 150. I think we're coming to the bottom of the range. If the correction is worse and we get more surprises, we probably dump lower. But let's look at the momentum. Look at this gigantic bearish divergence. You got to stay. Well, I don't want to tell you what to do, but this is how I look at it, right? We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, the MACD doesn't look too bad, but this is a very momentous stock. It's trying to come. I don't think so. I think it's coming down.